News out of Naptown. Well, speaking of Naptown, it was a one-play nap time that may have led to all this. Or may have been the final straw.
Probably.
I don't know.
The hammer.
But Anthony Richardson coming back from a shoulder injury that knocked him out of the last 3 quarters of his rookie season, and thus entering this year, the ups and downs of a young player in the NFL is now happening in year 2 of a plan, let alone, but unfortunately not a year 1 of a plan, which is when you're all set up to live and die with all of that stuff. How many wins did Troy Aikman have his first year? 1.
1, right?
Right, you know what I mean? So how many interceptions did Peyton Manning have his first year in Indianapolis?
28, 30.
28.
Not the same.
Well, I'm just saying that in year 1 of a plan, you're more than willing to take the ups and downs than potentially year 2 of a plan. And now everybody's along for the ride for another year of this plan. And last year's plan almost wound up in the playoffs anyway because Gardner Minshew was playing very well as the fill-in. And this year, they've got a much more decorated backup. When you've got the reigning comeback player of the year award and a Super Bowl MVP sitting there. And Joe Flacco, well, I was saying they still have to stick with the plan and the program with Anthony Richardson. Got to get him the reps. Can't get better if he's not playing. Living and understanding you can't throw it there, you should get out of bounds there, or if you're feeling tired, you can't come out of the game. These are the things that he won't learn unless he goes through them.
Facts.
That's the way you get better in the National Football League. Certainly when...
That's life, Rich.
It's just life in any large city or smaller city or hamlet. That's the way life goes. But yesterday we found out Anthony Richardson was going to be benched for this coming Sunday nighter in front of the whole country. NBC flexed into this bad boy between the Colts and the Vikings. And then we found out today from Shane Steichen, it's not just for Sunday night.
All right, I'll start off just by confirming Joe will be our quarterback going forward. Tough decision, but one I felt was in the best interest of our football team. I feel that Joe gives us the best chance to win right now. With that being said, not giving up on Anthony by any means, really not. He's a young player with a ton of talent. And he'll use this time to continue to develop and grow as a professional.
So let's take this one at a time here. First up, damn straight it's a tough decision. And for Shane Steichen, I'm sure he got together with Chris Ballard, and that might have gone all the way up to the deadhead who runs the whole thing, right?
I would imagine so.
And so they got together and said, we have a chance to make the playoffs this year. Last year we did not. And that stuck with everything and everybody. You take a look at the standings right now, and you could see the Indianapolis Colts are the 8th seed, half game behind the Chargers. I mean, that's it. They are in the sniffing it column atop it right now. Unfortunately, the mistakes that Anthony Richardson did make on Sunday, again, that I keep circling back to that throw he made at the end of the first half. Boy, I think the Colts would rather have just, taken a knee, handed it off to Taylor or whomever. Instead, it was an interception. Texans cashed it in for 6 right before halftime and sweeping the Colts, meaning the AFC South is kind of out the gate. I ended it that way on purpose because you never know.
Never know.
Because Flacco can really ball. We know that.
He can, yeah.
And every single coach, Kevin O'Connell, the minute he heard it's Flacco, not Richardson, I'm sure he went, damn it. All right, let's get to work. But there was a split second of damn it. He wanted the kid who is going through the ups and downs and is still learning ropes more than Joe Flacco. That's for sure. And every other Indianapolis Colts opponent feels the same way right now. That's just for the here and now. Colts had to do it. Potentially, and we'll ask Albert Breer when he joins us in a few minutes' time, the I was tired, took myself out for a play is something that Richardson couldn't come back from right now with everything going on, and that whatever leadership qualities he has shown and has gotten people in the locker room to be there for him and back him up, and all the comrades in arms that he may have earned over his 2 years of being around in this facility and being a leader and being a guy that everybody is rooting for. All of that maybe just couldn't overcome it right now with his up and down play and all of that. And Shane Steichen took his finger, put it in the air, and he sensed where the wind was blowing and made this decision. But overall, just overall, that now makes 2 of the top 4 picks in last year's draft benched in year 2. Benched. And this, just like Carolina in Bryce Young, is for the foreseeable future, as Shane Steichen just said. And the only reason why Bryce Young started last week, and we'll find out how things are going with the sprained thumb for Andy Dalton, is because Dalton got in a car accident. Otherwise, you wouldn't have seen Bryce Young against Denver last week. That's now 2 of the top 4 picks benched. C.J. Stroud is the outlier. And you take a look at the draft where 3 quarterbacks were drafted the last time before this year, right? In Trevor Lawrence as well on top of it. But you've got the 3 guys with Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson and Trey Lance and Justin Fields and Mac Jones in that draft. Trevor Lawrence is the only one still with his team. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are wondering if he's going to get his 3rd different head coach in short order. And wondering, where is the Trevor Lawrence from Clemson? We have, and the other guys are all on different teams. Sam Darnold, different teams, so on and so forth. We have a quarterback development problem in the National Football League. Big time. And again, if I am an owner in the NFL, if I was one of the 32, I would sit and raise an alarm bell with my colleagues in a big way, because there, but for the grace of God, go you. Now, I know, Clark Hunt could be sitting there going, what quarterback development problem?
Sounds like a YP.
You know what I mean?
That's a you problem.
And any other member that has a, terrific quarterback, Mike Brown might be like, you want my money to develop your quarterback? You want to come up with, like, I put money in a kitty and we figure something out? I don't know what the answer is, but when quarterbacks are constantly being thrown in this league unready and then unable to get reps when they're benched because they're unready, there's a problem. And it winds up on the field, because Joe Flacco could get Brian Flores in 2 seconds on Sunday night, and guess who's back in the game? The unready guy. I don't know what the answer is, but you got to figure something out. Do you let these kids play in the spring? Do you not?
I would.
But
I would let him
you
play.
Also don't want to have somebody who's got no shot to make an NFL roster roll into the ankle of your guy getting reps in a game that doesn't mean anything in the long run.
Fluke stuff happens all the time. You have an insurance policy. You let these kids play. It's the only way he's going to get better.
Kurt Warner will tell you, without Amsterdam, there's no American underdog.
Yeah, for sure.
He will tell you that. Well, maybe he wouldn't say there's no American underdog. He wouldn't have been ready to have had the American underdog intro to the world in 1999 without Amsterdam. The World League of American Football, NFL Europe, poof. And then all of a sudden, after those leagues go, we're starting to see quarterback problems, I think. And if I'm an owner, I'm like, we got to do something about it. That's what I think of when I see Anthony Richardson benched for the foreseeable future. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.